Hello everyone and welcome, and today we will be making Pokemon Pompoms. So what you will receive in your kit is 2 long pieces of yarn here, 1 short piece of yarn, and your Pokemon templates. And you will also need a really good pair of scissors, a glue stick, and some tape. So the first thing you will do is you will cut out both templates all the way around. So I have already done one here, and then you have to do both. So you take the other one and you cut all the way along the edge. And don't forget about the center, but I will show you how to do that when I get there. And I will be using pink yarn, even though I know his shell isn't pink, but it matches his eyes, and his eyes are pink. So it doesn't really matter what color. I think it's funner if it's a different color, because it stands out more. Okay, I'm almost there. Perfect, put that aside. So when you get to the center, this is what I like to do. Fold it in half, like that. And you make a tiny cut. Make sure you don't make it too big. You don't want to go over the side. And then from there, you want to make kind of like a star shape. Cuts all the way around. Like that. And then that makes it easier for you to cut all the way around. Like that. Perfect, so this is what you should have by the end of the cutting. So then, you take both pieces and you put them back to back so that the color is on the outside. Now you don't want to glue it just yet. We'll save that until later. Okay, so now you take the long piece of yarn. Now what I have done here, and it will make wrapping so much easier, is I took this super long piece of yarn and I folded it in half twice. So as you can see, there's 4 pieces here, and that'll just make it easier. Okay, so you take one piece of the yarn, take your tape, and you tape it to the bottom of the template. And that's just to help make it stick. There we go. And I'll just cut that using the scissors. Just like that. Perfect. So this is when you start wrapping. So you're going to take your string by the other end, here we go, and you're just gonna wrap it around like this, and you keep going. And when you wrap, you want to make sure that you leave no space without yarn, because we're making a pom-pom. You want it to be nice and big and fluffy, and to do that, you can't just leave a piece without. And it's much easier when the string or the yarn is like this. It's much shorter. That's why we folded it in half twice. Now when you get to the head, you can't really wrap around the head because then you'll cover it up. So you can just, for this part, it's okay to leave a little bit without yarn right there. There we go. And perfect. It's okay if this is a little longer than the rest. At the end, you can trim it, so that's all good. Now, you have your second piece of yarn. So you're going to do the exact same thing. You're going to take a piece like this, and if you want, you can do like you did the first time where you taped it, but because there's yarn underneath, it's easier because it won't slide. So you can just keep going and do the exact same thing. Whoops! There we go. And you just keep wrapping. Now what I've done is, I already did that twice over here. So when you're done wrapping both pieces, it should look a little bit like this. You can see that it's nice and full. So when you're done wrapping, you're gonna take your scissors again. Oop, I have a little piece of tape stuck on it. That's okay. So this is a little tricky, but it shouldn't be too bad. So you're gonna take your scissors and you're gonna cut right here all the yarn that you just wrapped. This is why you need a good pair of scissors, so you can cut all that yarn. So the one hand is cutting, and the other hand, make sure you hold all of that yarn in place, because you don't want to restart. There we go. So now you're going to take the small piece of yarn here. And remember at the beginning I told you not to glue your two templates together, because this is when we're going to separate it like this. And that's how you're going to tie. See, I'm putting the yarn in between like this all the way around. Perfect. This one didn't get cut. There we go. Now you're going to tie a knot. You can see that right there. So I would say here at least a double knot, because you don't want all of your tiny pieces of yarn now that you've cut to come all loose. There we go. And here you can just trim, you can see here, the excess. You can cut that. And this one. Ooh, so look, you have a nice pom-pom here. And as you can see, this piece is longer than the rest. This piece is still a loop. So what you can do now is you can cut the loops if you have loops. And if you have a long piece, you can just trim that. You can just go around and trim the ones that are longer than the rest if you want a uniform looking pom-pom. But if you don't care, if you want them all different lengths, then you don't have to trim. But me, I like it when it's all the same length. So this one is a little longer than the rest. I'll trim that. And this one I'll trim. There we go. You take your glue stick, and now you can glue the two pieces of the face together. Now that you've attached your pom-pom. And if they don't line up, that is perfectly fine. There you go. And if you want, you can also glue the body together. I will do that. And press down so it stays. Ooh, and then need more. Like that. Hopefully that's enough. Might have to squeeze it for a couple seconds. Good. Perfect. So, if you want, if you have leftover yarn, you can take your tape and you can tape it to one side, just like this, and then you could hang it somewhere. And you can maybe hang it on a Christmas tree. It could be a Christmas tree ornament, or you can even hang it in your room, or anything like that. So, when you're finished, this is what it should look like. your little Pompom Pokemon. I hoped you enjoyed making this craft. I know I did, and I can't wait for you guys to do it. Thank you. Bye.